there have been a few studies that have looked at markers in the blood of people who live close to towers. And this is one study that compared blood markers of those who lived 80 meters close to a tower. Those who lived 300 meters away were the controls. This is done in India. They looked in the blood at antioxidant status, looked at glutathione and these different proteins that are involved in DNA repair that I've mentioned before, and showed a significant reduction in the repair enzymes and proteins and an increase in lipid peroxidation. Of course, that would mean an increase in cell membrane damage. 24 gig. This 24 gig is what you're going to be getting with 5G. And clearly it resonates with the body and it increased the power density, which means the absorption into that body.
These are being placed every couple blocks. So you could have an amazing home, and then 1 week, a company can come and put a cell tower right outside your window. So is ratcheting up the exposure of the entire population. So to think that we could put an exponential amount of microwave radiation into our environment and not feel effects is simply false. People are being affected. And it's not just headaches and insomnia. It's much more serious things, such as infertility, DNA damage, and eventually cancer. Now there's scientists around the world that say that it's most likely carcinogenic technology. So isn't this regulated? But if you look at the regulations, they're almost 20 years old. So that means our most advanced technology is using science that's at least 20 years old. But not only that, they're based on a concept which is nearly 50 years old, which says if microwave radiation does not heat us, then it can't possibly hurt us. But there's now hundreds of studies that show that this is false. So how is it that we have a regulatory body that's not protecting the public? Well, like many issues, like many public health issues in our country, you end up having industry influencing the regulatory body.
I've been really amazed at the resistance to learning the truth, the spin that the industry puts out, learning that the exposure guidelines that the FCC uses are totally not protective. Really, I would call them fraudulent.
We cannot block 5G from coming. Due to the Telecommunications Act of 1996, we cannot make decisions based on possible health effects. That is for the FCC to decide.
They've requested the FCC to do more health studies and provide the city with more answers. But the FCC requires cities to accept all applications from telecommunications companies to expand wireless capability. It's why the council is expected to approve letting AT&T keep moving technology forward in the city.
That would allow AT&T to continue doing the work of their telecommunications work in the right-of-way. It doesn't dictate the type of technology that they are able to use.
My concern is that they're moving too quickly on this whole project. There are a lot of questions and they haven't been answered.